The rubber match with the Falmouth Commodores tonight at Spillane Field goes the way of the Gatemen as Wareham tops Falmouth 5-1 here at Spillane Field. Hi everybody, welcome into the Gatemen Postgame Show alongside Henrique DaMour and Cameron Stuart. I'm JD Raucci. A wire-to-wire win tonight for the Gatemen. They led it from the very beginning, but much like last night, Henrique, it was an offensive outburst at the beginning, and then they kind of teetered off at the end.
Yeah, no, the Gatemen got things going with 3 runs in the first 2 innings like they did against Falmouth last night, but the difference was instead of goose eggs across the board, the Gatemen got some much-needed insurance runs. Now, didn't end up mattering as it was a pretty dominant performance by, they fulfilled my key to the game. The bullpen came out, threw phenomenally. McGregor Hines, as well as Joey Barron, both pitched a couple very good innings of work. But also to back up our player of the game, who we'll talk to in a bit, Derek West. I mean, he was just absolutely awesome. Redshirt sophomore from Pitt, came in his 3rd appearance of the year. Now his 2nd start, as well as 1 appearance in long relief, but he had success against the Commodores beforehand and continued his success today. 5 strikeouts, just gave up the 1 hit, a solo shot to Edward Julian, a guy who hadn't homered all year. Other than that, he was immaculate. Really good stuff from West. Bullpen backed him up. Gateman got some late offense in the form of Isaac Collins, a big 2 RBI single to push across the last 2 runs of the day. He was fired up at second base, and rightfully so. I think this shaped up to be one of, if not the biggest wins of the year for Wareham.
And as you mentioned, Henrique, Derek West went 5 shutout, no-hit innings before going to the 6th and giving up that solo bomb to Edward Julian. What was working on the mound tonight for a guy like Derek West?
Well, to put quite simply, everything was working on the mound tonight for Derek West, and you saw that really in his pace of play throughout the game. He was really quick, nothing methodical about Derek West tonight. He had everything going for him. All his pitches, saw a lot of the fastball tonight, a lot less of the breaking ball than we saw last time, but still with those strikeout numbers and the 5 no-hit innings before giving up the home run. He was incredibly efficient, under 70 pitches when he was pulled in the 6th inning, so he had everything going for him tonight. And then out of the bullpen, Henrique had this as his key to the game. They were excellent. McGregor Hines comes in, inning-ending double play with a couple runners on base. Later in the game, Joey Barron has the same thing, runners at the corners. Falmouth threatening to get back in the game, inning-ending double play. They had everything going tonight. Falmouth offense was lackluster, but a lot of that had to do with the Gatemen pitching from Derek West to McGregor Hines and then Joey Barron to close things off. They were all great tonight, and if they get pitching like that, the Gatemen can be an unstoppable team.
Everything worked tonight for the Gatemen pitching staff. Just 2 hits the entire night for the Falmouth Commodores. And when you go 5 hitless innings and then only give up 1 run, you're probably going to get our player of the game, and that goes to Derek West, who got a chance to talk to our Mariotters after tonight's stellar performance.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with tonight's player of the game, Derek West. Now, Derek, you went 5+ innings and only gave up 1 hit. What was working for you on the mound tonight?
My fastball, I was really pounding the zone with it. I said before the game, I'd worked backwards to him last time I faced him, so tonight's goal was just to attack with a fastball, and, it worked very well for me.
Do you think they weren't expecting that?
I'm sure they were sitting fastball because, for the first 3-4 innings, I was throwing a lot of them. I wasn't throwing the off-speed for strikes, and the 4th inning, the changeup started, throwing the lefties off balance, and I was really able to get my off-speed going there and towards the end.
And your next start won't be until the early round of the playoffs. What are you going to do until then to prepare for that?
Stick to my routine, doing flush runs and sprints, and just working on plyos with Coach Lawler, and then hitting some key pitching drills that's helping me out this summer.
Are there any specific pitches you're going to be trying to work on?
Keep throwing the changeup. That's a real big pitch I need to develop, and just work on a tighter spin for my curveball so it's not so big and loopy.
Now, time for some get-to-know-you questions. If you could have a superpower, what would it be?
It would definitely be super speed because I'm not a fast runner, and that would be, something fun that I'd be able to go do.
You could pinch run for some guys.
I could pinch run and go save the world like the Flash.
Exactly. And what's your favorite color?
Red is my favorite color, so it works out greatly for the Wareham Gatemen.
Who's your celebrity crush?
My celebrity crush would be Selena Gomez.
That's a good one. Lastly, if you were a tree, what kind of tree would you be?
A big oak tree.
Just because?
Just because.
All right, there you have it. Derek, thanks so much. Guys, back to you.
Thank you very much to Mary and Derek, as always. And with tonight's 5-1 win, powered in large part to that Derek West outing, the Gatemen actually moved into a tie for first place in the West Division, a 4-4 tie for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks against the Brewster Whitecaps tonight, and that's them 1 point, plus the Gatemen's 2 points added up together. That's a tie at the top of the division. How important is it moving forward that the Gatemen try to continue to fight for that 1 seed in the West Division moving ahead to the playoffs?
Well, I think it's so big for their confidence, no matter who that fourth team turns out to be right now. Cotuit's in that slot, but it could very well be Falmouth. Or if it goes wrong here, it could be Wareham. You know, it's so close. We talked about that on the broadcast, how close it is in the Western Division right now. But as far as confidence, the way this season has been a roller coaster for the Gatemen, losing guys left and right and having to battle back, dig deep, and find more strength throughout the season, that could be huge if they come out with the 1 seed. You know, they were battling with Hyannis back and forth for the better part of the early part of July, and for a couple weeks now, it's been the Gatemen in second and Hyannis in first, and it's been like clockwork, and both teams are kind of staying even with each other, 1 point back, 2 points back. And now for the Gatemen to be in a tie for that spot with Hyannis coming in here on Sunday, that's going to be a huge game coming up. And I think for their confidence to go in and say, you know what, yeah, we are still the best team in the Western Division. You know, YD's running away with the East, and Chatham's been hot too. But as far as the Western Division goes, the Gatemen think they are the best club in the West, and they can prove that by coming out with that 1 seed.
That game on Sunday coming up here at 6 o'clock here at Spillane Field, but there is one more game in between. The Gatemen will make the furthest trip in the Cape Cod Baseball League tomorrow as they take on the Orleans Firebirds at Eldridge Park for the second time this season. At Eldridge Park, they're at 1-2, against the Firebirds this season, kind of toiling away at the bottom. Might even lose their playoff spot in the East with a hot Brewster team, especially with the tie today, and Orleans already down right now to the Cotuit Cavaliers. How do the Gatemen and the Firebirds match up tomorrow?
Well, it's really all Gatemen, especially considering that Orleans has been playing some of the worst baseball in the league. That's why it is so dangerous that the Brewster Whitecaps, my apologies, are all of a sudden so hot. They're racking up wins left and right, tying a team like Hyannis at their home park. They could very easily take that 4 seed, sneak into the playoffs, and that's kind of how they won it last year. They got the 3 seed. It was a bit more comfortable for the Whitecaps down the stretch, but they kind of snuck away with it. They beat YD, and they took down Bourne in the finals. They could go, I'm not saying they go back-to-back, but they could push into the playoffs here. Bottom line, Orleans, they've been spiraling out of control. They've lost 7 of their last 10. Pitching staff hasn't been going. They've registered just 1 run off a Cotuit team that all of a sudden has gotten hot, to be fair. The Cavaliers is tied for third with Falmouth right now, a 2-way tie for first at the top. Cotuit and Falmouth, assuming Cotuit goes on to win, of course, in third place. But the Gatemen, right now, it's a take-care-of-business win that they have to get at Orleans. Their pitching staff hasn't been too hot. Orleans and the bats, despite, we talked about how Nick Osborne is gone, but Carter Aldretti, the home run derby winner, another power bat for Orleans. They could turn it on in a hurry, but no one else has been doing much of anything. Neither of those guys have been hitting awfully high for average, so really nothing's been going well for Orleans. But the last time they were out there, I mean, the Gatemen haven't had success against the Firebirds. The Gatemen, against the bottom 2 teams in the East, have not played too well, so they need to take care of business and get that win that, I'm not going to call it a freebie because nothing's ever a freebie, but with all Western Division games going forward, one against Hyannis at home, at Cotuit, who all of a sudden is very hot, and a home and home against Bourne to end the year, every game's going to count. This Orleans one could end up being pretty crucial.
Gatemen will try to tie up the season series at 2 games apiece tomorrow. First pitch scheduled for 7 o'clock at Eldridge Park in Orleans. We'll be on the air at 6:30 here on the Gatemen Baseball Network with Gatemen Pregame Live. That'll do it for us here on the Gatemen Postgame Show. For Cam Stewart and for Henrique DaMour, I'm JD Raucci saying so long and enjoy the rest of the night.